Hello. You're seeing this video sort of backwards. Well, not backwards. You're seeing it forwards, but you will. Anyway, you'll understand what I'm saying in a minute. I recently I got delivered today, something I bought on eBay, and they were a bunch of pens, and you'll see that video after you look at this one. And they were all beat up pens that needed to be put together. And there were a lot of parts that are useless to me or to really anyone. There are some parts already that I have broken apart to get the one part of them that was worthy, and the rest I threw away. But there were a couple of pens that I was able to put together and make work using the parts I bought on eBay, plus parts I had, plus a little bit of good luck. And these are Waterman taperwrite pens, which was Waterman's version of the Parker 51. The Parker 51 came out, everyone tried to imitate them. They couldn't entirely imitate them without infringing on the patent, so they ended up doing whatever they could to make it different enough to get around the patent issues. So these are two Waterman stately pens. Waterman taperwrite, rather, pens. And I'll do a drawing right now with them, and you will see how well they write. This is a plan for some drawings I need to do I should be doing right now. I'm going to put them in oval frames, and they're going to be part of my Audubon series. But rather than drawing birds like John J. Audubon did, I'm drawing the Audubon, A-U-T-O-B-A-H-N series of birds, and they're going to be calligraph birds with calligraphic lines. The wings made of little circles like this, and the calligraphers in the 1800s delighted in making objects and animals, and especially birds and fish, out of calligraphic lines, and it was supposed to show everyone how well they did. Well, I'm doing the same thing, except these are Audubon, A-U-T-O-B-A-H-N, so they're going to be drawn as if flattened by a truck. So there'll be, tire treads going off and feathers and guts flying out. So anyway, this is one of the pens I got, and this one has a slightly damaged nib. It looks like the nib had been dropped on the floor and someone tried to fix it. And so I may have to replace the nib on this one, even though it's able to do, as you can see, very well. I will probably replace this nib. This one, on the other hand, I don't think needs replacement. This one is perfectly fine. It's a fine, somewhat flexible nib. The Waterman Stately's taperwrites, Waterman taperwrites, which is what this is. They didn't have, the nibs are very small, but they're exposed enough to make the pen actually work. So this one, I believe, will be perfectly fine the way it is, now that I put a new sack in it and put the parts together. These are sort of Frankenpens, except rather than Frankenpens being made up of all sorts of different companies and different eras, these were just, these are more like getting a kidney replacement from your brother. I borrowed the nib from this pen, so you know what I mean. So these pens, again, because they're imitations of an amazingly perfect pen collectors find them less desirable because of that sort of imitation aspect of it. But they do write in a way better than the thing that they were imitating because of the fact that there was more nib showing. So they're really good pens for drawing and for to a degree for calligraphy, and for just general writing. But for drawing, which is what you people are going to be interested in, they're pretty good. They can do 80% of what you would want your perfect pen to do, maybe 70%. But this will work better than anything you can buy brand new. Almost anything. There might be some pens that are manufactured today that will work better than the old ones, but this pen from 1945-ish, or whenever this was made, is going strong and will go strong for another 80 years or so. So anyway, Autobahn. So the Autobahn series, I'll just do that again. The Autobahn series will be a series where I'll do a composition of a bird, and I'm going to they're going to be made up birds, sort of Dr. Seuss meets Saul Steinberg meets Albrecht Dürer, and there'll be a little tiny bit of John J. Audubon in it, but not much. But there will be the Autobahn, the Autobahn, because there's going to be, right from the middle of this bird, there will be tire tracks emanating from the bird and going out. Maybe they'll go over the whole thing too, but we'll see if I do that. So they're supposed to represent a perfectly good bird that was flattened by a semi-truck going down the Autobahn in Deutschland über alles. That's the plan. Stay tuned. Bye.